Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Halloween! A lot of you have been asking me what I've been watching over the Halloween season, and tonight, we're gonna take a look. Alright guys, so like I said, many of you have been asking me, am I going to do a Halloween Horror-Thon video for 2018? And the answer was going to be no, I don't really do review videos anymore. However, many of you have asked, so here it is. We're going to take a look at everything I watched during the Halloween season. Some of you who might be new to the channel could possibly be wondering, what is this Cinema Sickness Halloween Horror-Thon? Well, 2 years ago, before I took on Cinema Sickness full-time, I used to watch nothing but Halloween and horror-related titles from the first day of fall until October 31st. And I had you guys join in on me. I used to do like hashtags on Instagram so everybody could see what everybody was watching. It was a lot of fun. Maybe someday I'll kind of sort of bring it back. But since I did take on Cinema Sickness full-time 2 years ago, I just don't have time to watch a movie every single night. I try to watch one at least every other night. Sometimes I do watch them consecutively in a row, but there are nights where I just don't have time. So to do that many movies in that sort of amount of time, it's not going to happen. So I kind of stopped doing it. Plus, like I said, I don't really do review videos anymore because I used to review every single movie I watched. So over the last 2 years, I kind of really wasn't doing the Cinema Sickness Halloween Horror-Thon anymore, but again, a lot of you guys have been asking about it. Every year you guys do bring it up, so I guess to some extent I'm going to kind of sort of maybe bring it back where I'm just going to show you what I've been watching. I'm not going to try to watch a movie every night. It's just sort of like, hey, here's what I checked out. So again, I don't consider myself a movie reviewer, which is why I stopped reviewing movies in the first place. It's not my thing. I don't review movies. I don't really talk about movies. I'm more into, or my videos anyway, are more about the collecting of cinematic media, not so much my thoughts on movies in general, but here they are, my very brief thoughts on what I watched during the Halloween season this year. Again, was not able to watch a movie every single night, but I did watch plenty of them. So, all right, let's get down to it. If you guys like this video and you want to see more of these, maybe, possibly, I could start doing one at the end of every single month. Again, maybe. I make no promises. Again, I'm not really a reviewer. Don't really enjoy reviewing movies, but maybe I will. So, anyway, very brief thoughts on the movies I watched. So, first movie, this is great. A fantastic way to start things off. The Dark Power. First time ever watching this, and man, did I love it. You guys know I love cheesy horror movies, and that is what this was. It's an Indian burial ground movie, or a Native American burial ground movie, where there's this Native American living on this house, on this land, and he's living there to basically protect the land so that these like Native American zombies don't come back to get their revenge and kill a bunch of people off. He passes away, and the house ends up getting like rented out to some pretty cheesy 80s like stereotypical boys and girls, and sure enough, the zombie Native Americans come back and they start hacking them up, and it's so much fun. It is cheesy. There's some definite like ridiculously cheesy moments, even a few kind of like moments that are like really like slapsticky, but I don't care. This was great. If you love cheesy 80s horror movies like I do, and you haven't seen The Dark Power yet, it is one to check out. You're not going to be disappointed. I loved that film. Then this I watched because I watched another reviewer on YouTube talk about this movie, and it just kind of made me go, you know what? Haven't seen it in a little while. I love this film. I'm going to watch it. And that was From Dusk Till Dawn. However, I completely forgot when I put the, I do have this on Blu-ray, by the way. Well, I know I watched it on DVD. I watched it on DVD because I wanted to watch it with the commentary, but I forgot that the DVD, and I love how they did this. Disc 1 is actually Full Tilt Boogie, which is kind of like the making of movie behind From Dusk Till Dawn. And then Disc 2 is the actual From Dusk Till Dawn movie. Again, brilliant idea because probably tricked, like it did me, tricked a lot of people into watching Full Tilt Boogie first before watching the actual movie, which is not a bad idea. It's a great documentary. So popped it in and realized, oh crap, I forgot. It's Full Tilt Boogie on disc 1. But I went, what the heck? It's such a great movie, a great documentary, I guess I'd say. I'm gonna watch it. It starts off amazingly fantastic as well. I love the way the documentary starts off. So decided to watch that. It's great. It's done really well. Again, it's all just a behind the scenes making of From Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, it's definitely something I recommend checking out if you're a fan of the From Dusk Till Dawn franchise. So after that, then I did finally watch From Dusk Till Dawn with commentary, which I have done before, I love it. It's Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino audio commentary. Quentin Tarantino doesn't really do audio commentaries on his own films for some reason, but I guess he does them on films that he wrote because he actually did write this movie. So it's great listening to those two discuss their movie and kind of discuss other movies because they're big movie buffs and they're like really good friends. So it's really fun to listen to those two discuss their film together and what they thought of certain scenes and kind of behind the scenes things I'll tell you about and why this was shot this way and what happened when this was getting shot. It's pretty awesome. And once again, if you're a fan of the From Dusk Till Dawn, at least the first movie or the franchise, it is worth checking out with the commentary. Again, this is my, I believe, second time or maybe even my third time watching this movie with the audio commentary. It's that good and that amazing. So, yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn and Full Tilt Boogie. I've seen them a dozen times before and I'll see them a dozen times again because this movie is amazing. Next up, this was also great, Moonstalker. First time ever seeing this as well. I've been wanting to check it out ever since I first picked this up because it has been on my wish list for some time now because I believe I saw a review on YouTube about it and thought it looked pretty good. And it is. It's kind of cheesy, but in a fun sort of way where there's this guy who comes out of a mental institute and killing off people. It's actually a fairly simple plot, but it's fun. It's worth checking out. I do recommend this one. There's really not much to this movie other than some dude killing off some people, and that's kind of about it. But it's fun. I recommend it. Check it out. All right, then this, some of you could say maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but like I say when it comes to these marathons, there is leeway. You can, certain movies that might not necessarily be a horror movie or a Halloween movie, if it involves like monsters and stuff, it can count. And I would say the Jurassic Park franchise counts. It's a bunch of killer dinosaurs. I think that's scary. I'd say these are maybe not straight up horror movies, but they got some horror aspects to it. They're gonna count. And I really wanted to watch Jurassic World again because I've only seen it once, I believe, when I saw it in the theaters, and really did enjoy it. So really wanted to check it out again, and watching it for a second time, I still did enjoy it. It's not my favorite of the Jurassic Park movies. In fact, at the time when it was only the 4 Jurassic Park movies, I would say this was my third favorite. Jurassic Park 2, World, and then 3. That's kind of the order I would have put them in. So I had to watch it, and like I said, I had to watch it again. And like I said, I did enjoy it. It's a fun movie. I'd recommend it if you're a fan of the Jurassic Park franchise. It's a good one. It's not the best. It's sort of rehashing the first movie again. It doesn't really, I'd say it doesn't really bring a lot of new stuff to the table, but it is fun. And the reason why I wanted to watch that, by the way, watched it in 3D, awesome. And the reason why I wanted to watch that is because I had yet to see Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So wanted to get myself kind of recaught back up until I jumped into this one. And now that I've watched this one, I'm going to say this is my third favorite. So Jurassic Park 2 or Lost World, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Jurassic World, and then Jurassic Park 3, if I said that correctly. That's the order I'd put these in. I like this movie more than I like the first Jurassic World. It actually kind of brought some new stuff to the table. It felt like it didn't feel like a rehash kind of the first movie, which again, watching Jurassic World, I sort of do feel it is kind of a rehash of Jurassic Park. I mean, not exactly the same. I'm not saying it's like a shot-for-shot remake or anything like that, but it has some similarities, and it does sort of feel like you're kind of watching a very similar movie Whereas this, I would say, although it does have some elements, I would say that kind of harken back to Lost World, Jurassic Park 2, I still would say that this does bring some new stuff to the table, was a little bit more of an interesting movie, and I actually did really enjoy this one, even more so than the first Jurassic World. So I would recommend checking this one out. Definitely, if you were not a big fan of Jurassic World, give this one a go. You might actually like it a little bit more. Some people didn't care for this one. I know some people who actually like Jurassic World more than they like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I mean, it's all, you know, in the eye of the beholder, but I would say, again, if you were not a fan of Jurassic World, at least give this one a rent. Check it out. Maybe you'll enjoy it a little bit more. If not, well, then whatever. Tough luck. So, all right. So, yeah, some Jurassic Park. Or I should say Jurassic World. All right, then, oh boy, here's a controversial one. Hereditary. It seems that everybody out there either loves this movie or just despises it. I'm kind of in the middle. Here's my thing. The movie, and I think maybe if I want to get into it, I think maybe the reason why people like this movie is because it was shot well, had some legitimately creepy moments, and had some very kind of like intense and just like, whoa, like did that just happen kind of scenes. There are some great moments in this film. The beginning of it is really, really great. I mean, I will say that this movie had some great moments. It is a good movie up until kind of a certain part. The point in the movie that kind of loses it for me is when it becomes, and spoiler, all right, you guys ready? It kind of becomes about this cult and them like this reincarnation of this of a demon or like the devil or whatever, and that lost it for me. I don't really care too much about cult films. It didn't make it so much fun. I really wanted a movie like Hereditary to be, and I thought this is where it was going at first, actually, to be about like this, maybe this curse on this like family, or it's just some horrible thing within this family. It's been getting like passed down through like generations and whatnot. Like that would have been a bit more interesting than it being like this cult thing. And I didn't care for that. When it started to go in that direction, I kind of started to lose interest in it. And by the end of the film, I was like, eh. Like all the cool stuff that happened in the beginning of the film just kind of went out the window, and I just kind of didn't care anymore because the ending of the movie kind of just didn't do it for me. So maybe for some of you out there, you like the idea of a cult and all that stuff, and that's great, awesome. And then you got a good movie here. But for me, wasn't my thing, wasn't where I wanted it to go. I was really hoping the film was going to go in a different direction, and when it actually went in that direction, I was like, ugh. So not my thing. I didn't really care for this movie. Again, like, I mean, the New York Time, or Time Out in New York, I should say, gave this movie 5 stars. I still think it's ridiculous to call this generation's The Exorcist, because The Exorcist is such a brilliant, perfect, fantastic movie that I would have to say that's kind of an insult in a way. I know, sorry. Yeah, was not a big fan, but hey, some of you guys are, I know that. It just seems that either has this like love-hate thing, and some people love it, some people hate it. Me, I just kind of found it okay. I did not hate this movie. I wouldn't say that. I just kind of found it mediocre, and I don't see myself watching it for a second time. So Hereditary, but like I said, a lot of people like it, so check it out if you're interested. Okay, then Fear No Evil. Again, the back of this movie is a lot more interesting than the actual movie itself. It was just kind of okay. Again, sort of religious based with the reincarnation of like the devil and like in humans, and them having to stop it and whatnot. And there's a pretty cool scene with some like zombies. I like that scene, and I think they knew it. I think they knew it too, because that's what's on the back here. They show these like zombies, and that was like the coolest scene in the entire movie. All the rest of it was like, yeah, like I didn't care too much. A lot of the characters felt kind of flat. Just wasn't, in my opinion, all that great of a film. Once again, don't see myself ever really watching this one again. Once again, though, I will say, if you're interested in seeing it, it's at least worth a watch. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like the worst movie ever. It just had some very dull moments, and I wasn't blown away by this one. So Fear No Evil, I found kind of just mediocre. Then I had to watch this because I was given this as a gift, and that is Cinema Insomnia, I Bury the Living. That's my buddy Mr. Lobo right there, who I will be doing a convention with again on the 11th in Lebanon, Pennsylvania at the Lebanon Expo Center. ParanoiaCon. If you're going to be there, stop by, say hello. Plug. Yeah, so Mr. Lobo was my booth neighbor at RetroCon again this year for the second year in a row, and we were talking, he goes, hey, do you want one of my DVDs to check out a review? And I said, yes, I do. So we were looking around through his DVDs, trying to figure out, okay, which one do I want? At first I said, maybe something cheesy. I love cheesy horror movies, but then I saw I Bury the Living. I went, whoa, okay, this is what I'm gonna take. And he was like, oh, you said you want cheesy, and he's right, because I Bury the Living isn't cheesy. It's actually a really good horror film, very underrated in my opinion. This is great. It's Mr. Lobo. He's a horror host, so they're just playing the movie, and they keep cutting, you know, like maybe a 10-minute interval of the movie, and they'll cut back to Mr. Lobo doing something, you know, kind of funny and goofy, and hamming up the TV for a little while. If you've ever watched Elvira or anything like that, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and that's what we have going on here. So not really much to say about it other than the fact that I Bury the Living is a brilliant movie. It's so good. It's about a guy who maybe, possibly, I won't spoil things, but could be killing off some people by sticking black pins into a cemetery plot map, which Mr. Lobo recreated and had some fun with during his show. So again, fantastic movie, and Mr. Lobo does a fun job of hosting it. So if you haven't seen Cinema Insomnia, definitely check it out. You can get the I don't want to say it wrong, OSI 74 app on your Roku. You can find it on some TV stations. You can find it on YouTube. Check it out. It's pretty awesome. I'd recommend Mr. Lobo and Cinema Insomnia. Definitely awesome. Very cool. Anyway, next up was Blood Diner, which I just want to say, all the artwork I have ever seen for this movie does not accurately describe the film. That looks like it'd be a completely different movie than we're actually getting. However, with that being said, it's not that it's a bad movie. It's great. It is cheesy though, which I love. Great practical special effects. I mean, the characters in this movie are completely like whacked out and goofy. It's a fun one. Again, if you like them cheesy, you're gonna love Blood Diner. And if you're like me and you've never seen the movie or seen a review or heard anything about it, and you're thinking, ooh, Blood Diner, look at that creepy dude on the front. This is gonna be a great horror movie. It's not exactly that. It's a lot different than you're probably going to expect it to be, but for me, that was okay. Had it gone in the direction I thought it was going to go in, awesome. But it went in a completely different direction, and it was still awesome. So cheesy, ridiculous, goofy. I don't want to get into it too much. It doesn't revolve bringing back like a demon in the weird way they have to do that, and there's like a brain and with eyeballs. And it's weird. Check it out. It's pretty fun. Okay, then a documentary that literally took me, I believe, 3 days to watch. Leviathan, the story of Hellraiser and Hellbound Hellraiser 2. This is a very, very, very long documentary on the two films. How long is this? Is there a running time? Because I swear it was about like 6 hours. It's like 5 or 6 hours. It took a while to get through this. But they go into great detail. And I love documentaries like this. Sometimes you watch documentaries, it's over in like an hour and a half, and you're thinking to yourself, that was great. I want to know more. Why did they not go into more detail? I love this franchise. I want to know more about it. And even though I got to be honest, I'm not the biggest Hellraiser fan. I enjoy the movies. I just don't love them. They would not be up there on my top favorite horror films. I find them just to be kind of okay. Even though that's the case, I do still enjoy the movies, and I love even more learning about movies. So watching this was a blast, and again, they go into very great detail on the film. So if you want to learn everything there is to know basically about Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2, this is something to watch. It is a great great double documentary. It's 2 different documentaries. They're fantastic. Highly recommend checking them both out. This was a really, really good watch. Very informative. And honestly, it kind of makes me want to go back and watch the first 2 Hellraiser movies again. I actually haven't seen them in a while because, like I said, they're not my favorite horror movies. But now, I don't know. Maybe I'll go into them with a different kind of view on the films now that I know what went into making them, and maybe I'll enjoy them a little bit more. I don't know. So we'll see. I'll probably end up rewatching them sometime soon. Then, a movie I did want to rewatch, It, the new It, the retelling of It, not the remake. I wanted to watch it again because I enjoyed it so much the first time around, and I enjoyed it just as much the second time. This is a really, really well done movie. It's got some great, very scary moments in it. I think it does a really great job of portraying that Stephen King feeling of being a kid. I love the miniseries. It's not that I don't like it, it's great, but it's a TV miniseries, and it feels like a TV miniseries. Although it's great, it doesn't quite rope me in as much, and I just sort of enjoy watching it more so than I kind of feel like being a kid again, where when I watch this, I almost sort of do feel like being a kid again, where watching these children get scared by certain things, it makes me think back to the stuff that used to scare me when I was a kid. Watching this made me think about something I haven't thought about in a long time. We went down to the train tracks one day to watch Santa. Every year, they don't do it anymore, but every year when I was a kid, at the train tracks, everybody used to line up by the old train station, not a train station anymore, but back in the day it was, and Santa Claus would come by on a train. It was pretty cool. The kids would line up, all the families would be out there to watch Santa come by. It was a lot of fun. And beforehand, we used to kind of walk the tracks, put some pennies on the track to get them smushed and whatnot, and we found a set of gloves. And it almost looked like they were kind of like bloody on the outside, at least in my mind. That's what I'm thinking. But my dad, and man, have I grown up to be just like my dad. I mess with my son all the time with stuff like this. My dad was like, oh no, there's hands in there, and somebody got their hands cut off and whatnot. That's not the case. It was literally just somebody dropped a pair of gloves, probably somebody working on the tracks, or who knows, just a pair of gloves on there. But in my mind, somebody got their hands cut off, and I don't know, my mind went crazy, and these gloves were haunted, and I had nightmares for like weeks. And I should take a lesson and not mess around with my kids so much, because my son one day will be up for weeks crying and screaming because I gave him nightmares. It's gonna happen. I know. Anyway, so it made me think back to like something like that, where like, you know, Pennywise would be messing with those gloves, and those gloves would be coming back to get me. I know it. So I really enjoyed this one. It is great. I am curious to see how they do the part 2, because now it's gonna be with adults. I know they're gonna do flashbacks and stuff apparently, but when it comes to this, again, it really makes me kind of, you know, takes me back to being a kid and being scared of certain things and that whole idea. And I really enjoy the way this one was done. Again, it really does feel like a great Stephen King movie, where it puts you in that place of being a kid again, as Stephen King movies tend to do. So I loved it. So hopefully the sequel is, well, the part 2, I should say, is just as good. I think it will be, but again, I'm a little curious to see if I get into it as much as I did the first movie. But yeah, second time around, awesome. If you have not seen the new It is definitely worth checking out. All right, this is a movie I had to watch because for some weird reason, this film came up like 37 times in like 2 days. I don't know why. Some guy was talking about it on YouTube. Some of you guys brought it up in the comments. Like I think on a live stream it got mentioned. Like, I don't know why, but this movie just kept coming up, and I was like, well, heck with it. I haven't seen it in years. I'm gonna rewatch it now because I'm thinking about it. And that is Tales from the Crypt presents Demon Knight. And man, do I love this movie. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I used to watch this one. When did this come out? 95. So I guess I was that would make me 13 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. So I was a 13-year-old, and you know, good time period to start getting into movies like this, and I latched on. I loved this one when I saw it. It's fantastic. It is so much fun. It's cheesy in a Tales from the Crypt kind of way, but at the same time, a bit more Hollywood and big budget. So it's got that cheese, but it's got that Hollywood as well. Billy Zane is amazing. Who else is in this one? Yeah, Billy Zane's fantastic in it. I could go on and on, but I'm not seeing names. Anyway, there's Jada Pinkett Smith is in this, of course. It's got a really great cast, but really when it comes down to it, Billy Zane, is really the only one we need to talk about here, because Billy Zane is just zany in this movie. I mean, I can't think of a movie I like him better in. I mean, he's in a lot of great movies. I do love Billy Zane. When he's in a movie, I'm like, ooh, all right, this just got good. But in this movie, he's so much fun. He's playing like the devil, and he's just such a great character. Again, he's wacky, he's nuts, he's busting out one-liners. The stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth is just brilliant. I love it. Only thing I don't love is the weird scene where he's talking like Jada Pinkett Smith about like loving her, and he can't say love. He's like like, and he just like that. I don't like that scene. That one kind of bugged me. It's like, I would have taken that out because it just sort of seemed a little too cheesy. Like, why can't he say love? I mean, you would think the devil, I mean, it's not like the devil can't say love, especially if he's trying to trick somebody. I don't know. Anyway, didn't care too much for that scene. But otherwise, brilliant movie. Check it out. If you've not seen this one, it is amazing. I love this movie. Bordello of Blood is also pretty good, which is the next movie that came out afterwards. All vampire related. This one's about, devils and demons. Second one about vampires. And the third movie, which I believe was called Rituals, was about zombies, and I did not like that movie. So at least check out this one, if anything. And then if you really like it, check out Bordello of Blood. You'll probably like that one too. All right, then another new one for me, Crawl Space. This was a lot of fun as well. It's about this guy who is a murderer, and he's renting out rooms to young, attractive women and killing them off. And the best part about it is, since he is in this apartment complex, he's built like this crazy system of like ventilation ducts that he can crawl through and whatnot. He's even got this really cool like cart that he can like zip through. I want one of those. I look like that part of the movie. I was like, that looks like fun. I want to do that. I don't want to go after a girl and try to kill her, but I want to zip through ducts on this little cart thing. So it's a fun movie. It's I mean, pretty simple plot. Just a guy killing people off. He does it in a few creative ways. I like the way he kills the guy who's trying to like sort of investigate him. That was a lot of fun. So it's an interesting movie. It wasn't anything amazing. I'm not going to sit here and rant and rave about this film. It's not like it was like the best movie I've seen, but it is worth a watch. It's a good horror movie, and I would say check that one out. Then, of course, I had to watch, and I had to watch this because I actually haven't seen this movie in years, and it's been... Over the last couple years, it has taken off. It's definitely become, I don't know, like trendy to like this movie. It's that mid-90s thing that's going on, well, early to mid-90s thing that's going on right now. It's like that time period is becoming very, very trendy. A lot of movies and cartoons and whatnot from the the early to mid-90s are becoming very big and very hip and cool, and it's fun to say you like these movies again, and they're getting re-released, and t-shirts are getting made, and this is one of those films. Hocus Pocus, but I mean, it's a darn good movie. So as long as you're actually really into this movie, and you're not just saying you like it to sound hip and cool, then I'm okay with that, because this movie is really, really good. At Disney World right now, during their Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, there's a big Sanderson sister like stage show they do. I love that Disney is embracing this film. That's awesome, because it is really, really good, and it deserves all the praise it does get. Watching it again, though, after all these years, I do kind of realize there are some scenes, or not some scenes, but some plot points that do kind of seem like they're not really explained too well. Like the film does kind of feel like it's a little fast at times. Like they're just trying to like wrap things up really quickly. They're not going into too much explanation, but regardless, it's a really fun, I was going to say family-friendly film, but honestly, there are a lot of adult jokes. And if words like damn and hell are not your thing, if those are too risque of words for you, I know for some people, when I say those occasionally in a video, some people freak out. Sorry if you are one of those people and you're watching this video, because you're going to freak out now. But they do say words like that. In fact, I believe the word damn is in this in this movie a lot. I was kind of surprised by that. I wasn't expecting that. So, I don't really care. I mean, my son heard the word hell or damn. I mean, I would tell him not to repeat those words. But it's not like, it's the F word or something like that. It's not that big of a deal. So, family friendly to an extent, but be warned, a few like minor curses, some things about like sort of sexuality. You might have to explain to your child what a virgin is. So go into it expecting maybe to have to answer some questions if you're going to watch it with a younger child. But I'd say for the most part, you kind of can watch it with a younger child. There are some moments there that might be a little too creepy for them. My son does not want to watch this one yet because he feels the witches are kind of scary. I'm sure when we got to this scene where, you know, there's a zombie, he probably wouldn't have liked that either, even though the zombie turns out to be a good dude. So my son does not want to watch this yet. He's still a little too scared of it. So hopefully in a couple years he'll want to watch it. And by the time he's ready to watch this movie, I mean, be damned. We're gonna watch this one. Minor curse words and everything, and me having to explain to him what a virgin is, aside, we are gonna watch this one. So I love this film. It's great. Glad I watched it again after all these years. I didn't watch the special features though. I'm gonna have to do that. So that's kind of why I opened up the Steelbook. I wanted to watch the special features, and I never got around to it. I'm gonna do that. So anyway, Hocus Pocus, it's a great movie. Fantastic Disney film. I cannot recommend it. They keep talking about, or I keep hearing about the possibility of a sequel. I would love that. Do a sequel, Disney, but get back the original cast. I still think they could do it. They've all aged, especially Sarah Jessica Parker. They've all aged, but make them older now or something. I don't know what to do, but please get back if you're gonna do a sequel, get back the original cast. If you recast it, we're gonna have problems, Disney. We're gonna have problems, but do a sequel. I wouldn't mind it. Anyway, and then finally, the last thing I watched, and huge shock here. Halloween. Watched my 4K release. It looks great in 4K. I loved it. The picture quality is fantastic, and of course, it's a fantastic movie. I watch this one every single year. Do I need to go into Halloween? I don't think I do. I mean, guy escapes from the mental hospital and starts hacking up teenagers. Fun stuff. That's the plot in a nutshell. So I love this film. It's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it. I'm sure you've all seen it. I can't imagine anybody right now watching this has not seen Halloween. But if you haven't, why? Go out and watch it. In fact, you can probably still pick up this 4K for pretty cheap at your Target or Walmart. So go out and buy this, watch it. You won't be sorry. It is a fantastic film. But again, we all know that, right? Halloween, brilliant film. Watch it every year. I'm sure pretty much all of you do the same as well. So, all right, guys, there you go. That's it. So like I said, definitely did not watch a horror movie every single day. There were some days where I just wasn't able to get around to watching a movie. I had videos to shoot and edit and orders to fill or family stuff to do. There was the fact that I went up to Massachusetts the last weekend, so I was away for a couple of days, didn't watch any movies while I was away, so it is what it is, but honestly, again, I think I might kind of sort of want to bring this back. It doesn't have to be a movie every day. And it never really was. For me, it was a movie every day, but I always said just as many as you can watch, and you know, and hashtag what you've been watching. So probably next year I will bring this back and redo sort of a Cinema Sickness Halloween Horror-Thon. So if you want to see more videos like this where I kind of maybe recap very quickly everything that I watched over the last month, maybe I'll start doing, why did I say month like that? A month? If you want to watch everything I've done, or if you want to see a review of everything I've watched over the last month, maybe I'll start doing that at the end of every month. I don't know. Leave a comment down below if that's something you want to see. If then I get enough feedback, maybe I'll do that again. Some of you guys do really want review videos. I just hate doing them, but maybe if I do them in this fashion, where I very quickly just spout off what I've been watching within like a half hour, it won't be so bad. I don't know. Leave some comments. Let me know. But anyway, guys, that's it. If you guys watched anything cool and interesting, leave comments down below. In fact, if you kept a list, if you have a list of everything you watched during this Halloween season, everything from like the first day of fall until October 31st, leave a comment down below. Let's see that list. I'd love to see what you've been watching, or if you just want to say, hey, I watched this really cool movie, maybe you should check it out. Let me know. Again, leave some comments. I want to hear what you guys have been up to and what you guys have been checking out for Halloween. But all right, Halloween is now over, and it is time for me to get in a few other movies that are not holiday related. And then next thing we know, Black Friday, Thanksgiving is going to be here, and it's time to start watching nothing but Halloween, yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, winter, New Year's movies. That's a whole nother thing I do, and I'll probably do another video like this recapping all those titles I watch. So I gotta get busy, guys. I have a lot of stuff I picked up over the last month that I have not gotten around to watching because they weren't Halloween related, but I gotta check out. So, all right, guys, that's it. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Should have grabbed some water for this video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, and you're going to get one. Also, be sure to check down below for links to Patreon, where you can help support the show. The simple donation of $1 or more if you like really does go a long way. I'm getting really dry here. Really does go a long way. It goes right back into these videos, and it does gain you early access on most of my videos as well. Also, check down below for links to Spreadshirt, where you can pick yourself up many different designs of Cinema Sickness t-shirts. I got a green one on here to match my my gecko mask from PJ Mask. So all sorts of designs and colors you can get shirts in. And again, proceeds do help out the show. And as always, most importantly, check out the Cinema Sickness Retro Store on Instagram, which is getting a facelift at the moment, actually. Looking much better the way the photos are taken. Also, again, a whole new price points, kind of going with quality over quantity. I'm not listing kind of crappy titles. It's only titles I think are really worthy of being in the store, and I've dropped the prices down on many of them, so trying to keep stuff at a really good price. So definitely check out, again, the Cinema Sickness Retro Store on Instagram. Movies, music, video games, movies, music, video games, books, there we go, retro toys, movie memorabilia, all kinds of cool stuff like that. Proceeds are by far the most important for the show, and they are what keep the show going. So again, links down below to everything. So again, guys, that is it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope you had a fantastic Halloween. And if you're like me, you're going to spend the next couple days in a sugar coma. I can't wait. I've got some peanut butter cups in the refrigerator right now. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
You look adorable.
Cute.
Here you go. Happy Halloween.
Thank you.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
night.
I will.
Look at this tail.